Hey guys, Digitech Lifestyle here. I hope you guys are all well. Right, I come across this video. This is going back since 26th of September 2019. Check it out for yourself. But listen to what he says. And it's kind of odd that he says this in 2019. And then we have that thing. And now we have cryptocurrencies being widely adopted. They've known about this for some time, and they've been working on it for some time as well. But I want you guys to hear what he's saying about it. Before I do that, I'm going to have to,
But no one can ignore a gathering force that is reshaping the future of every member of this assembly. There has been nothing like it in history. When I think of the great scientific revolutions of the past, print, the steam engine, aviation, the atomic age, I think of new tools that we acquired, over which we, the human race, had the advantage which we controlled. And that is not necessarily the case in the digital age. You may keep your secrets from your friends, from your parents, your children, your doctor, even your personal trainer. But it takes real effort to conceal your thoughts from Google. And if that is true today, in future, there may be nowhere to hide. Smart cities will populate with sensors, all joined together by the Internet of Things. Bollards communing invisibly with lampposts. So there is always a parking space for your electric car, so that no bin goes unemptied, no street unswept, and the urban environment is as antiseptic as a Zurich pharmacy. But this technology could also be used to keep every citizen under round-the-clock surveillance. A future Alexa will pretend to take orders. But this Alexa will be watching you, clacking her tongue and stamping her foot. In future, voice-connected connectivity will be in every room and almost every object. Your mattress will monitor your nightmares. Your fridge will beat for more cheese. Your front door will sweep wide the moment you approach like some silent butler. Your smart meter will go hustling of its own accord for the cheapest electricity, and every one of them minutely transcribing your every habit in tiny electronic shorthand stored not in their chips or in their innards. Nowhere you can find it, but in some great cloud of data that lowers ever more oppressively over the human race. A giant dark thundercloud waiting to burst. And we have no control over how or when the precipitation will take place. And every day that we tap on our phones or work on our iPads, as I see some of you are doing now, we not only leave our indelible spoor in the ether, but we are ourselves becoming a resource, click by click, tap by tap. Just as the Carboniferous period created indescribable wealth, leaf by decaying leaf of hydrocarbons, data is the crude oil of the modern economy. And we're now in an environment where we don't know who should own these new oil fields. We don't know who should have the rights or the title to these gushers of cash. And we don't know who decides how to use that data. And can these algorithms be trusted with our lives and hopes? Should the machines, and only the machines, decide whether or not we are eligible for a mortgage or insurance or what surgery or medicines we should receive? Are we doomed to a cold and heartless future in which a computer says yes or computer says no, with the grim finality of an emperor in the arena? How do you plead with an algorithm? How do you get it to see extenuating circumstances? And how do we know that the machines have not been insidiously programmed to fool us or even to cheat us? We're already using all kinds of messaging services that offer instant communication at minimal cost. These same platforms could also be designed for real-time censorship of every conversation, with offending words automatically deleted. Indeed, in some countries, this happens today. Digital authoritarianism is not, alas, the stuff of dystopian fantasy, but of an emerging reality.
About some good things, and he talked about the bad of it all. The thing is, right, what do you want to do with it? Do you want the good? I mean, like, everybody wants the good. Nobody wants to see this technology used for bad. Britain is becoming a global tech hub for all sorts of things. Now, when these people talk about the bad things, for me, it kind of like signals that they may use some of it for bad. I mean, like he talks about the computer says yes or no. He talks about the Internet of Things. I mean, there's some great things coming out in this technology right now. But I think it's going to take us as individuals, us as human beings. They keep using that word, by the way, human beings. Or us as a collective, I'd like to use us as people. Because we are people first and foremost. Yes, we are human beings, but we are people. To make a change. We cannot allow governments to make decisions that affect us long term at all. We have to make a change, and we have to say, you know, we don't want that amount of control. There's enough of it as it is. I mean, he talked there, he didn't mention the country's name, but everybody knows who that country is. Every single person knows who that country is. They have a digital yuan. I mean, that's all I need to say, and that is used to control the masses. We don't want that technology. We don't want CBDCs. There's going to be, like, they're going to have two lots of CBDCs, one for them and one for us, one for governments, one for the people. Now, I don't see why they have to have that, because as far as I'm concerned, if the blockchain is supposed to be transparent, etc., we need to see what they're spending their CBDCs on. We need to see if they're going to be using it to spend on wars, etc., etc. We also don't want them using CBDCs against us to stop us from buying stuff. If we want to, you know, people smoke weed and shit like that. You get me? I, personally speaking, why should I, if I was to do that, allow the government to know what am I spending my money on? And if that is the case, they'll be telling me you can't be spending your money on that. That is just wrong. What if there's a health benefit to having that? What about all those other things? I mean, it's like having to make us take these jabs and stuff like that. There's all that coming down the line. Health passports, He mentioned that. Looking after old people, etc., etc. Are we then going to be beholden to machines that make our every decision, programmed by some bloke who decides what and when and who can't? No. We're not here for that. We're individuals. We have a mind of our own, and we are not going to be controlled anymore. And I'm going to say this: we are, in some sense, being controlled. I mean, when you think back to 2019 and what happened after then, and that thing called 19, what happened then? Masses of people were controlled. Masses of people went down and got a thing in their arm or wherever they got it. And masses of people are now suffering as a result. Masses of people are now, not being funny, I've got a friend who had one of those. He's 31 years old. He has now a heart condition. That was not prevalent before. And I hear there's 12-year-old kids copping it off in their sleep, you know what I mean? Just going in their sleep. And this is not just in one place. This is all the places that people have been jabbed. So, what do you want? Do you want to continue with this kind of like not knowing where you are in this world? Because right now everything's topsy-turvy. The whole world is upside down in my view. You know, we're not being told the truth anymore. We're not being given we're not being told the truth at all. If you believe what's going on with this Putin's price hike, that's bullshit. That's nothing to do with him. That's everything to do with what's been going on since 2008. The financial crisis that they never fixed in 2008. They never fixed it. They had a chance, but they chose not to fix it. Instead, they bailed out the banks. They bailed out big infrastructures. They bailed out big companies. They did not bail out the people. In fact, what they did was austerity against the people. Then they say we have transitory inflation. It's transitioned, all right. It's transitioned up. I thought the word means it's transitory, it'll go up and then it will come back down. It hasn't come back down so far. And it's not likely to, because all of this has been manufactured by them, for them. They are the ones that are making the profits out of this. This is the biggest wealth transfer in history. The biggest. And they are making sure they keep you down from getting a hold of it, with all the fun about Bitcoin being too energy consumptive, etc., etc. I'm sorry to say it, but the banking infrastructure alone, with all the trees that they have to cut down to make paper money, etc., etc., and to make paper money, the trees that they cut down, that is affecting the planet, not the other way around. Bitcoin is being used, and they have a mining infrastructure that, if you think about it from a perspective of money, creating money, what's wrong with that? You're using electricity to create money. What is wrong with that? And if you're getting cheap electricity that runs these mines, regardless whether you're using water or you're using hydro water, same thing, or if you're using air, volcanoes, who cares? If it's free electricity and it makes you money, what is your problem? If the only cost is making those machines to mine the crypto, what is your problem? And all these people like Lagarde and all that lot, oh, cryptos, shut up. I want to hear about your crypto bollocks and how you don't like it. That's not what we want. We want freedom from oppression, we want freedom from wars, and we want freedom from all the crap that these governments have done for decades. They've oppressed, stolen, and made their mates money, and caused wars, stolen from other people, etc., etc. They've never done anything for us. It's time to take back control. CBDCs are out. We don't want CBDCs. Hell no. Keep your damn CBDC. Yeah, especially if there's no privacy in it. And also, we want better protection, better privacy controls over everything that we want. Everything in our life. I understand there has to be some, if you will, sort of safety nets for criminals, etc., etc. Yes, we do need some sort of regulations. I'm not saying we don't. I will never say we don't need regulations. Regulations are good, as long as they are going to come from a good place and are done in the right way. Okay, enough rant about that. Let's go over to Terra Luna. I want to just briefly touch on that. Now, this is a bit of a shock because I came across this article 3 days back and I was meant to cover it, but I didn't. Do Kwon's sent 80 million a month to his secret wallet. Now, I've also understood that the SEC, etc., etc., and he's kind of like now complying and all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, yeah, we don't know if that is the case, if he has been, yes, they say Terra employees reported confirmed to the SEC Do Kwon cashed out 80 million a month prior to Luna and USD crash, right? I don't know. I wasn't there, right? There's loads of replies on it. People are kind of like pissed off, etc. And I get it. And if he has done it, it is wrong, right? I've only just got into Terra Luna Classic. I have only just got into it because right beforehand it was too expensive. I wasn't going to get into it. Right? So like I was saying, the US Security and Exchange Commission recently conducted a remote video survey of some of Terra Key's designers and focused on inquiring about Terra's poor design structure. Okay, right. And that's good that they are realizing that. Okay. There's two strands of thought here. Is the project dead, or can the project be saved? The thing is, it was successful before. It worked well. It made a lot of people money, including Do Kwon, right? But I think with a clear oversight, this problem would never have happened had our governments, regardless of who they are, whether country, wherever they are, set down clear guidelines we wouldn't be having this SEC report that got its hands on alleged money laundering activities of Do Kwon. Now, that could well be true, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to play you the video here to hopefully this works.
Down, bad, real bad over the last
couple days. We're talking about a 90+% fall over the last 24 hours, which is really remarkable.
This
after a crisis of confidence in UST, the algorithmic stablecoin that is wedded closely to the fate of Luna, slipped off its peg in dramatic fashion, dropping below I think it was 30 cents earlier today, now hovering around half a buck. So pretty crazy stuff going on in the world of terror right now, and the crypto market is watching rapidly. CoinDesk was also able to report an interesting little nugget this morning about Terraform Labs CEO Do Kwon. According to ex-colleagues, he was behind another algorithmic stablecoin experiment called Basis Cash, which launched in 2020. Didn't really ever get off the ground that much. So the dream of an algorithmic stablecoin was alive then, as it is now, and this anonymous team, funnily enough, named Rick and Morty, brought this thing to fruition, and now, according to sources, as captured here by Sam Kessler, doing yeoman's work on the overnight, he was able to get this on the record in what was a bit of an open secret in certain blockchain communities, but now this is confirmed that Do Kwon was one of the anonymous founders of this project that didn't really take off at all.
So yeah, lots of
interesting stuff going on as the world watches the terror story unfold. I'm going to toss it straight to Will for his initial thoughts on what is going on with Terra. What's up?
Yeah. To quote crypto influencer Crypto Cobain, what happened this morning with this? This is pretty insane. See this guy is Basis Cash, which was just at the time a huge story that algorithmic stablecoin, like you said, Zach, in 2020 crashed. People tried to resurrect the whole project, and it had just the conclusion everyone saw coming. Different project in terms of people, but safe and similar like code base. Now we have Do Kwon, who helped head that up, move over to UST, try doing a very similar thing, slightly different mechanism, but very similar thing. And the story here is that like he bullied his way into getting this project big, $40 billion market cap at one point. Now it's sputtering into death in front of everyone's eyes. Zach, your take?
Just like
a really interesting sort of crypto historical footnote, right? So Basis, which was founded with something like $133 million in venture cash, it was founded by the guy who went on to found Deso, which is a sort of semi-controversial Web3 social network. So Basis was founded, and they said, okay, this is never going to fly with regulators. We're pulling the plug on this thing. It's a dead project. In comes Rick and Morty, the anonymous co-founders of Basis Cash, which sort of revived this code from the dead and looked to bring a true algorithmic stablecoin to life. Didn't work out. This was late 2020. This was sort of bringing sort of the algorithmic stablecoin into the DeFi moment. We reported on it at the time. It didn't work out. And now we're reporting it's coming to light that Do Kwon, this was sort of his first hack at the algorithmic stablecoin, the holy grail of centralized stablecoin. It doesn't have its fates tied to any centralized intermediary that can be blocked, banned, or censored by governments the world over. So this has been a long-standing quest, and that's sort of the historical context in which we find today's revelation. But Will, I'll kick it back to you. I saw your hand, and Jen as well.
Really quick before I give it to Jen. Some takes, and I had this take yesterday, was like, you can give Do Kwon props for like trying to build a medium exchange for Bitcoin and creating a project like this. But now that this has come to light, it really does resemble that snake oil salesman, right? Going from town to town, booting up a new project, using pseudonymity to protect himself, making a lot of cash along the way. I think it has proven out a lot of, to be frank, like Bitcoin maximalist viewpoint, that a lot of these projects have just like bad characters behind them. It's not always the case, obviously. There's always a little bit of truth in the middle here. I think it has proven out that there are a lot of bad actors out there, and they're trying to do things that shouldn't be done, and they keep going along with it. And there's consequences for it. If you go over to the Reddit page for the Terra Luna ecosystem right now, there are suicide hotline numbers all over the place because people have lost out thousands of dollars, in some cases life savings, because they went to this protocol, specifically Anchor, which is built on the Terra ecosystem. For that 20% APY, that was a lot of interest that you could earn for what has been an interest-free rate for quite a while in the larger economy. So people were flocking to this protocol and had almost predictable results if you understood what was going on. So a lot of people called out the Terra ecosystem and called out Do Kwon for this. Do Kwon came right back at them for interfering or flooding his protocol. And now we see that the death spiral was basically built into this. There's been a lot of revealing Twitter threads over the last few days talking about how this was predictable, how it could have happened, and how people brought it up months ago, including some people like David Morris on CoinDesk. But we still have the same results, and people have lost out a lot of money. Jen, your take?
Yeah, Will, you kind of just brought up both points I wanted to bring up. The first is this culture around anonymity and pseudonymity in crypto, right? We spoke about it yesterday. There's so much trust that you have to have in the founders of a lot of these projects. You have to trust that they're going to do the things that they say they're going to do, and that they're going to be ethical should they fail in achieving the goals. I think that Do Kwon had an ethical obligation to disclose his past, and he didn't, and that's a huge problem, right? We now think about the people. I was traveling last week and was with a bunch of people who were buying the dip when Luna was at $20. I woke up this morning and thought about those people, thought about the mass amount of money that these people have lost because I don't think we can understand everything about a project. We always say, do your own research, educate yourself, know what you're getting into. And I think there's only so much you can do, and then you have to rely on the trust in the founders and in the people who are building these products. And so I just want to reiterate to everyone, do as much research as you can. And if you are going to FOMO into projects, try and gather all of the information you can, and only invest what you can afford to lose. But Will, I'm going to pass it back to you.
Yeah, just to make your point again in just a different way. Would you have invested in Luna or the Terra ecosystem if you knew Do Kwon was behind Basis Cash? And I think if most people saw that, they'd probably say no. You look at Basis Cash on CoinGecko, you look at the price fall, you say, like, why would I touch anything in this ecosystem? Of course, there's stories of people out there who have had failed projects and have resurrected themselves or built amazing things. That happens, and that's awesome when that happens. But these algorithmic stablecoins, they're known not to work. So many iterations over the years, and they've all gone to zero. They've all broken their peg, and there's always been burnt investors on the other side. And the fact that this wasn't disclosed is pretty disheartening. Zach, give it to you.
Yeah, I guess I'm a bit more sympathetic to failing and learning, and I don't necessarily see it as being necessarily ill-intentioned. The crazy thing about Terra and Luna is that it worked for so long, right? And some of these systems, they work until they don't. And what we're seeing now is that moment of sort of catastrophic failure where these things unravel really quickly because they're sort of raw market energy here. People getting scared, people getting...
Now, I didn't want to go on and on with that video, but they made some interesting points. One, I didn't know that he had a project before and it had failed. I didn't know that. Two, the 80 million he kept taking up the company months before it LUNC crashed. The other thing, some projects have come back to life. Yeah. And what I see with Terra Luna right now, or LUNC, not Terra Luna 2.0, because I think that's a failed project. People are building up, but it's still going down and down and down. People are not interested in that. The Terra Luna Classic is where people want this whole project to be unstable, and it is. There are things happening with it. There is a possibility of it being revived. I mean, I was hopeful, very, very, very hopeful that it would be. I still am. But I'm thinking you guys need to make your own research and all of this and do your own studies, not financial advice, but, are really stable coins going to work? Has Do Kwon actually proved that they don't work, or can they work pegged to something that is actually stable as opposed to the USD T coin? I've said this before. They should go for USDC. That is a trusted stable coin. It's recognized in government, etc., etc. I think this project has a chance of recovery with the right team. I don't think Do Kwon's the right person to be running this project. If he wants, he can stick with Terra 2.0, but I think what should happen here is, and this is just my opinion, I'm not a financial advisor, like I said before, or code or anything like that, but logically speaking or logically thinking, it needs to be taken out of his hands. It needs to be given to somebody with responsibility, and there are devs out there that want to take on that responsibility and build up this project again. And it's going to take the community to do that and get the community votes involved in order to get him off of Stellar Lumens and somebody with integrity, with a heart for the community to work. It could work. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it could. And before I go, I'm just going to take a look on the Stellar Lumens price. All the good news on Burns yesterday. It went up and it's dropped again, 3.65%. Now, I don't know what to say, what to do. Just hope all those other proposals go through, and I do hope that those guys who say they want to make this project work do what they said they're going to do. Anyway, do take lifestyle out. Don't get scammed, get regulated, and I'm looking forward to when stablecoin regulations come out. Over and out.